Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will talk about US tourist visa interview questions and answers. But before I start talking about interview question, it is important that you understand the process for B1 B2 visa. First step is that you need to apply for DS 160 and after that you need to give visa interview. Therefore, it is important that you prepare well for the visa interview, and through this video I am going to help you in your preparation. You should convince the visa officer that you are going to United States just for the sake of tourism or whatever your purpose is, and you will return after your visit. So immigration intent is one thing that the visa officer is looking at. Second thing that the visa officer is looking at is your intention to work in United States without any authorization. If the visa officer thinks that you have intention to immigrate and if you have intention to work in US on this visa, then he may refuse your visa under section 214B. Now we will talk about questions that the visa officer may ask in order to judge whether you have any intention to immigrate or not. Let's begin. So the first question that the visa officer could ask you is that why are you going to USA? Remember that this is the time whatever you will tell, the visa officer has your complete attention. So in the first 15 to 20 seconds, it is your time to make an impression on the visa officer. Therefore, stick to a short answer but have some specifics. For example, tell them what you exactly want to do in your visit. If you're going for tourism, tell them where are you going. Like for example, if you're going to New York City, tell them that you want to visit Times Square, Brooklyn Bridge, Niagara Fall. I have few more examples for you. So you could be going there to attend conference, you could be going there to attend business meeting, so you can tell them, you can tell about your event. But if you are talking about any conference, if you're talking about any business meeting, it is important that you should be carrying a support letter with you, because you never know, they could ask you that do you have any support letter in relation to this conference or that event that you're talking about. So if you have that support letter, it will help you in getting that visa. Another example is that you could be going for some family event and you could tell them accordingly. Second question that they could ask you is that how will you finance your trip? This question is important because they want to check if you have the financial capacity to visit United States or not, or if you will come to United States and be a burden on United States. So you want to prove it to them that you have the financial capability to visit United States. Again, there are some documents that you can carry with yourself just in case if visa officer asks you for those documents. They may not ask you, they may ask you, but if you're carrying those documents with you and if they ask you, it will make your case strong. So you can carrying your bank statement as a proof of fund, and this is the most important proof of fund that you could be carrying with yourself. Other than bank statement, there are other documents as well that you can carry with yourself. Your investments, if you have any, your properties, your pay slips. So your investment and your properties, they serve dual purpose. They are not only a proof of your fund, but they also prove your ties to your home country. Ties to your home country means that how good is your connection to your home country. Second situation is that if someone else is paying for your trip and you are being sponsored, in that case you ask them to write a support letter for you. As I have said that they may not ask you directly about your finance, they could ask you question like this: what you do. When they ask you question on your employment, they are trying to check if you have the financial strength to visit United States or not. So these are some of the employment related questions that they could ask you: what you do, are you employed, where do you work, what is your job profile, how much you earn. Again, all these questions are checking your financial capability. Now some employment related documents that you can carry with yourself are employment letter, no objection certificate, your pay slips, your income tax return. So this is the case if you are employed. What if you are running a business? In that case, you can carry documents like invoices, income tax return, revenue sales statement, GST registration, article of incorporation. So another situation could be that you are neither employed, you are not running a business, but you are a student. So in that case, simply carry your student ID card. Now, what if you are unemployed? So this is a difficult situation. If you are unemployed, your chances of refusal is actually extremely high. So in this situation, it is important that you tell visa officer what is your immediate future plan. For example, you can tell that you are unemployed because you are planning higher studies, or you could tell them that you are in the middle of giving interviews and you are expecting to get a job very soon. Now that we have talked about employment, which shows home ties, investment and properties, which shows home ties, there is another thing that shows home ties, and that is your family. So they could ask you questions about your dependents, they could ask you question about your children, they can ask you question about your wife, they can ask you question if they will be traveling with you or not. Also, they can ask you questions on how many countries you have visited. So if you have visited countries like Canada, UK, Australia, your chances of getting this visa will actually increase. And remember, your passport will be in their hand, so they could see any country that you have visited. So if they see that if you have visited any war-torn countries or any country that they think is suspicious, they could ask you questions on that as well. Another question that they could ask you is that why was your visa denied? So if your visa was denied, this could be the first question that they could ask you. So it is important that you do not blame them for your refusal. You may suggest it to them that there might have been some confusion, because unless until there is significant change in your visa application, they will reject your application again. So have a good answer for this question, why was your visa denied? Another question that they could ask you is that how long will you be staying in US? When answering this question, it is important to know for what reason you are going to US. So if you are going to US to attend some conference and the conference is for 3 or 4 days and you are staying in US for 3 months, then this may look suspicious. So if you are going on vacation, 2 to 3 weeks is fine. And similarly, according to your travel plan, you are the best judge on how long you should be staying in US. Again, for the first timer, it is recommended that you do not tell it to them that you are going to be staying in US for 5 or 6 months. Try to have a shorter duration. Another question that they could ask you is that do you have a family in US? So they ask this type of question to check your ties to US. So if you have got a lot of family members in US, if you have got boyfriend or girlfriend in US, the visa officer could think that they may file a petition for you. So this is the reason why they ask you a lot of questions about your family members. They could ask you question where they live. So these are some general questions that they ask. They could also ask you question to throw you off. For example, they can ask you questions on to convince them about your ties to your home country, or any random question that they could think of. So I have already talked about this question, why do you want to visit US, but I wanted to give it some more attention. If you are going to US just as a tourist, it is important that you give them some details, as I have already talked about. Why? Because it is your duty to convince the visa officer that you are a tourist and you do not have any intention to immigrate. Something like this, you shouldn't be telling them that you want to see US. You need to be more specific and give them some more details. This is the answer that I have previously talked about. So you can give this answer that you want to spend New Year in New York and want to see places like Times Square, Brooklyn Bridge, Niagara Falls, or any place that you want to visit. Similarly, if you are visiting your family, just don't tell them that you want to see your sister. Again, give them some details. I'm going to New York to attend my brother's engagement, or you're going to visit your sister whom you haven't seen in a long time. If you are going for conference, training and meeting, as I have said, it is important that you carry a support letter with you. Also, I have made a same video in Hindi as well on my other channel. You can take a look at that as well. I'll give the link in the description, and make sure to subscribe my channels. Thank you so much.